Today I'll discuss a metric-based trade-off question. So watch the video till the end. The question is, how would you measure the success of Instagram feed? I hope most of you are aware about Instagram. So basically Instagram is a social media app where you can share your photos and videos to the world. But what is Instagram feed? So Instagram feed is the news feed which you can see when you open the Instagram. To be precise, it's a personalized stream of photos and videos that is based on your interest and people you follow, right? So here's the important thing is it is personalized. So what do you think the goal of Instagram feed news feed is? The goal of Instagram news feed is to increase the engagement on the platform so that user can enjoy and discover what they are interested in, right? Now I have one question for all of you. Do you think the goal of the news feed of Instagram and the goal of the news feed of the LinkedIn are same? Comment below. I am waiting for your answers. Top comment will get a free PM interview ebook and the PM resume template. I'll decide the top comment after 10 days. So now let's understand the different stakeholders that are involved for Instagram feed. What do you think? If you are thinking of content consumers, content creators, and Instagram itself, then you are absolutely correct. So, what do you think the content consumers are looking for? So, they are looking for personalized and relevant content on Instagram feed so that they can discover content of their interest and browse more and more, right? What do you think the content creators are looking for? Content creators want their content should get enough visibility via newsfeed for more and more users so that they can build their target audience, right? What do you think the Instagram is looking for? Instagram wants more and more content consumers should find relevant discovery via newsfeed so that they can spend time via browsing it. And why it is important for Instagram? Because if they browse more, the more number of ads Instagram can surface onto the users, that means more money to Instagram. That is why newsfeed is important and number of people browsing the newsfeed is also important for Instagram. I think we are clear about what is the value that newsfeed is providing to all the stakeholders. So, what do you think the intersection of the value? So, the intersection of the value to all the stakeholders, be it content creators, content consumers, and Instagram, it is relevant discovery of the content which result in endless browsing, right? Now that we know what is the intersection of the value, what do you think the North Star metric should be? The North Star metric should be total number of minutes or hours spent on Instagram feed per day or per week you can take, right? So let's understand certain nuances of this. Don't confuse the homepage with feed. So the news feed is not the entire homepage. News feed is just a part of the homepage. Homepage has different elements like stories are there, reels are there, navigation to the reels. News feed is there. So news feed is just part of homepage. So let's understand with the help of an example. If people are coming on Instagram and just viewing all the stories and exit the app, that will not counted as the time spent on the news feed, right? You are able to get it. So you will better understand when we'll break down this North Star metric into different L0 metric. The time spent on the news feed can be broken down into total number of sessions that is happening on Instagram per day, right? Multiply by percentage session that is a news feed session. And how are we defining a news feed session? If you have interacted with any post, be it liking it, sharing it, saving it, or commenting it, or at least view 3 to 4 posts. That is what a newsfeed session is. Why we have taken a cutoff of 3 or 4 posts? Because if you land on the homepage, one post or 1.5 post is already visible to you. That is where if you have viewed 3 to 4 posts, this is what we call as an interaction or newsfeed session, right? Then multiply by average session length. Here the first term is telling you the top of the funnel traffic, right? The second term will tell you the adoption of newsfeed, and the third term will tell you the engagement on the newsfeed, right? Now let's see some of the L1 metric for this. Some of the key metrics that I will track to check the daily number of sessions is daily active users and sessions per user. If that is going up, that means the daily number of session on Instagram will also go up. Apart from this, I will also see some of the metrics like what is the new user growth on the platform, right? I will see daily active user divided by weekly active users also. That will tell how many weekly active users are also my daily active users. That will tell the retention as well. Another important metric I will check is the weekly user churn or monthly user churn. If that is going up, that means it is not healthy sign for Instagram and for the news feed also, because the top of the funnel will decrease. If number of sessions per day on Instagram will decrease, then eventually the time spent on the news feed may also decrease, right? So now I hope you are clear about the top of the funnel metrics. Now let's see some of the metric related to the adoption of the newsfeed. That will be percentage newsfeed session in which there are likes, comments, sharing is happening, right? What is the average number of newsfeed sessions per user per day, right? We'll also track the number of posts that are created per day. Why? If people are not finding the newsfeed relevant or helpful, they will not browse through it. And if they don't browse through it, what will happen? Creator will also not put their effort for creating the post, right? We will also track the number of connection made via newsfeed. That will also be one of the key metric. I think I should have mentioned that in the PPT as well, right? This will also be key metric. Now let's move forward. One other metric I would see is the number of posts viewed per user or median scroll depth. That will directly impact my session length, right? I hope you are able to understand the newsfeed in the greater detail. Now let's see some of the counter metrics for this. For counter metric, I would track newsfeed bounce rate. That means all the sessions in which you open the Instagram and do nothing, just quit the app, right? Another one I will track is the unfollow rate via newsfeed. That will indicate our newsfeed is not that relevant and great. It can also be a number of posts that are reported via newsfeed. That can also be one of the counter metrics. I hope you are able to get this. Now let's see one of the trade-off related question for this newsfeed. That will give the better clarity. So let's assume that recently Instagram has launched a reaction feature in the newsfeed. That means apart from just liking it, you can depict different emotion in the newsfeed, right? And you are a product manager, you did a A/B testing and found out that the reactions are up by 20%, but comments are down by 10%. What would you do? Will you roll out this feature to 100%? Will you roll back this feature? Like no launch and launch criteria, we have to decide. So when we were building this feature, we would have certain hypothesis in the mind, right? We would have set certain goal of the reaction feature. What is that goal? The goal of the reaction feature is to make easy for user to engage and depict their emotions, right? Reaction feature will increase the overall engagement on the newsfeed and motivate the content creator to create more posts, right? Because the engagement, overall engagement, that will include your comment and reaction both, will increase on the number of posts. This is what our initial hypothesis should be when we were creating this feature, right? So this is the goal and the hypothesis we would have set for the reaction feature, right? Also, one more thing, the number of comments can go down, right? Because now user find it bit easier to engage and depict their emotions without using their comment, right? It is saving their time. So it can happen that number of comments can go down and number of reactions are up. But to decide whether to ship or not ship, or whether to launch this feature or not launch this feature, we need to take certain other metrics into account, right? First, we will check the L1 metric. I will check the average number of engagement per day. Ideally, it should go up. The engagement can be reaction or number of comments. So on an aggregate level, it should go up, right? So this should be my first launch criteria. This should go up after launching this feature. Then I will check average number of engagement per post, right? Which should also increase in the A/B testing. Both of these metric will tell if people are finding the reaction feature useful or not, and it should go up. Now we will check the user level engagement increased or not, right? That means after launch of this reaction feature, more and more number of people are engaging with newsfeed or not, right? This should also go up. We will also check if number of posts created per day has increased or not. We would expect the number of posts should increase or stay neutral. It should not go down. If the number of posts created per day after this feature or in this A/B test result is going down, we will not launch this feature. Now let's see some of the L0 metric that I would track to decide whether to ship this feature or not. I would track percentage number of feed session. If that is going up, ideally it should go up. If that is going down, we will not launch this feature because your engagement is going down on the newsfeed. Another important metric I will track is the session length, right? The session length can go down or stay neutral, right? Because when you launch the reaction feature, people are doing more reaction rather than commenting because it is saving time. So on an aggregate level, it can go down or stay neutral. We are okay if it is going down, but not so much, right? So for that, we have to decide what is that percentage we are okay with if the average session length is going down. Finally, the North Star metric, average time spent on the newsfeed, that should go up because now more and more people are engaging with the newsfeed. Percentage newsfeed session on the platform are growing up. Creators are also motivated to create more posts, So ideally this should go up. If that is going down, we will not launch this feature. So to decide whether to launch the reaction feature or not, despite 10% drop in the comment, we will track these metrics to decide whether to launch this feature or not. I hope you have learned something new from this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more such videos. I will meet you on to the next one. Till then, keep learning and keep watching.